Welcome everyone to a special Tuesday edition of Generally Irritable. Now, those of you who have been watching for a while know we normally do our regular program on Monday evenings, but I wanted to do a special edition today to introduce you to a couple of ladies from Turning Point USA. So give me just a minute while I get situated over here. Bear with me, Miss Rebekah, as I get this open. Do. Okay. And then we lost Savanah, and it looks like she's got her camera back on, or she's got her stuff together, I'll add her back to the stream. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome. We're all situated now. All the technical things have gone on. Savanah must be having trouble because her camera's turning on and off. So hopefully she'll be able to fix that. But I'm here this evening with the two upstate representatives, two of the upstate representatives for Turning Point USA. So they work in Vermont, part of Massachusetts, and upstate New York. And with me right now is Miss Rebekah. She is the high school coordinator. Did I get that title right?
Yes, that's correct. Coordinator.
Okay. So Rebekah is working on creating and developing high school chapters of Turning Point USA. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Excellent, excellent. Would you take a moment and tell everybody a little bit about, let's take a step back. Okay, Savanah, give me a thumbs up can you hear me? Is your camera good to go? Can I add you back in? She gave me a thumbs up. Okay, let's see if we can get this. All right, excellent. Okay, so we got all three of us. So we got Rebekah, she's the high school coordinator, and Savanah now you are the college rep. Is that correct, Savanah? So you're upstate looking to help open college chapters in Vermont, Mass, and upstate New York, right?
Both college and high school. Rebekah's my assistant, and she assists me with high school chapters specifically.
Excellent. Okay, so we've got two ladies who are representing Turning Point USA in our region. And one of the things that I learned when we got started, they're actually also both from the Northeast. So these are not just gals who have been hired by the organization to come help us in Vermont and Massachusetts and New York. They're actually from Vermont and Massachusetts. So they've been raised in this culture. They were, born and raised here. They understand the culture of the Northeast, and they understand some of the challenges that we're facing as conservatives in the Northeast of the United States. And so, Savanah, why don't you start and take a moment and just tell everybody a little bit about Turning Point USA and what the organization's goals and mission is.
So our mission is to motivate, empower, and mobilize students. These can be high school, college, or simply student-aged people that are conservatives and want to, promote change in their community or on their campus, whether that be high school or college. Basically, we see a lot of indoctrination taking place at schools, and our job is to educate students on a lot of common issues, such as the dangers of socialism, taxation, losing our Second Amendment rights, things like that.
Yep. Well, and that's, one of the things I found with college campuses in particular is there's really only one side, and high school too, because I've got friends with high school aged students, and there's really only one side of the political spectrum that's being shared, taught, and elevated in education at this point. And I mean, as an example, a friend of mine, his daughter is in high school, and she had, Donald Trump, love him or hate him. Okay. They had she had teachers who were vehemently against Republicans and saying, oh, there's, Donald Trump is the devil, and anybody who's a Republican or conservative is a white supremacist. And, her dad is a conservative. I'm a conservative. She's a conservative. She's like, that's not true, And so, but she didn't feel like she could say anything for fear of, getting bad grades and stuff like that in school. Do you hear that when you're talking to students, either of you, when you're talking to kids in high school or on college campuses? Do you hear that same sentiment?
Absolutely. And a lot of college students, specifically college students, sometimes high school students as well, are too afraid to start a Turning Point chapter at their school due to judgment. So they resort to starting something in their town or, like outside of their school, just because they're scared of judgment. They're scared school will cancel them. And it's a little bit sad.
Wait, I thought cancel culture wasn't real. I thought isn't that what they're telling us nowadays?
Yeah.
Right? What is it? The Blue Anon? Is that that's the new thing that everybody's talking about? Blue Anon. It's all the anyway, I'm digressing. I'll probably get canceled for that. But anyway, so Rebekah, why don't you share a little bit about what you have going on working in high schools?
Yeah. So I'm in Cabot, Vermont. I've grown up in Vermont my whole life, and it's always been super liberal, really hard to find conservatives. It's like a needle in a haystack. So I recently became involved with Turning Point USA and am working to start high school chapters, community activism hubs in Vermont, and looking for high schoolers or even students who have graduated high school and aren't in college yet, or you're in college, you don't want to start a chapter at your school because you're scared that, you're going to get terrible grades because et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, so yeah, I'm trying to start chapters in Vermont, spread the word. I mean, most people in Vermont are super liberal, and there's not really another voice that's super loud right now that's speaking out against that one side. Like Vermont, you think of Vermont and you think of liberal. And so we want to bring a conservative presence to Vermont and start by doing that with the younger age.
Well, and that's, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that's especially, I feel like conservatives generally, especially the previous generations, I'm a Gen Xer. So the previous generations, they really have allowed for young people it doesn't feel like they tried. Like, I don't remember anybody really coming to me and when I was in high school or college and being like, this is why the Constitution matters and this is why it's important. I think I knew that inherently. And because I'm so, I've always been against the politically correct language police. And I've always been a big, guns are a thing, protecting yourself. And so I always thought of myself as a liberal until people started trying to infringe on my constitutional rights. And that's when I really started digging in and looking for other people like me who thought like me and like, am I crazy? Is there something wrong? Like, who are these people who are trying to say that, I shouldn't get to worship God the way that I want to? Like, why can't I go to church? Why should I be ashamed of being a Christian? All of these things. And so I really see Turning Point USA really trying to reach out to young people where I don't know many organizations who have done that in the past.
Yeah, no, of course. And it's a great way to meet like-minded people in your area, and especially in rural areas like Vermont. Everyone's kind of scattered. So with this, we can pull out those little conservative voices here and there, bring them together, and then start groups. And that makes it easier for us to spread conservatism in places like Vermont.
And so Savanah, do people have to be in, I think one of you mentioned it a little while ago. do people have to be like in high school, in college, like enrolled to participate or to start a chapter, or could they just be like homeschoolers or just some 23-year-old who's not in college but is tired of the nonsense? How do people get to start chapters? What's required?
Yes, so you can be around college or high school aged and still start a chapter. If I have several homeschool chapters, I have a couple chapters of 20-something-year-olds that just went straight to the workforce, and they still host events and do things that a normal chapter out of a college or a high school would do. And we also are launching some other programs in the future that will be announced soon for more adult aged people to get involved too. So
me, I'm going to be turning 43 next week. Does Erica get to be in TPUSA? That's all I care about.
Potentially in the future, yes.
Hook a sister up, okay? Hook me up. No, seriously. Okay, so people can start chapters. Oh, Samantha says I live down here in Orange. So is that near you, Rebekah, in Cabot?
I think it might be like an hour or so away.
Okay.
But yeah.
I feel like I should be embarrassed to not know. Born and raised in Vermont, and I don't know the answer to that. Samantha, don't judge. Samantha, don't judge me. Okay. Let's see. So if we get some comments and questions, I'm going to read them. Let's see what people got going on. I'm like, want to be famous? It's an advertisement on Twitch. It's somebody being like, buy followers. No, thank you. We're good. We're all set. Okay, let's see. Good evening, Brian. Brian, good evening. Welcome. Okay. So the big reason why I got in touch with you ladies, I think I heard that you were coming, or I don't know if I just felt inspired, what exactly it was, but I found there is a Turning Point USA UVM Facebook page. And I just remember being like, what? No way. And so I went to the page and I just liked everything to show support and commented because I know how important that is. And then I found out about the event that you're having on March 18th with Miss Isabel Brown. Let me see. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so Samantha says she's the state representative for Orange, but her Senate district is Caledonia. Oh, and she says she's 25 and happy to help. So is Samantha allowed to help?
Yes, for sure.
And she's a House rep.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, she's awesome. Samantha is
Very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, she's a badass. Am I allowed to say badass? Or do I get dinged for that too? I should really read what the rules are so that I don't break them. Okay, let's see. Let's share the screen. So Miss Isabel Brown, well, actually, let's start with this. Who can either of you give us a summary of who is this Isabel Brown and why should we care that she's coming?
She's a Turning Point USA contributor.
Excellent. And so what does that mean to be a Turning Point USA contributor?
They speak at events, they write content, and they're the ones that are kind of like public voices.
Okay. All right. So she's got, let me see. So we're going to switch page. So she's got her own website. It's Isabel-Brown. So it looks like this is some of her information. Here's her book. So is the event on the 18th, is it a book signing or is it just a talk?
She will be speaking. However, she will be signing books for people who have already purchased it. And if you wish to purchase a book at the event, she will have some available and she'll be signing those as well.
Excellent. So she's going to be there. First of all, I love this hat. Can we zoom in on this? Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Can y'all see that? Oops. Oh, hold on. It says, made you look. on her hat. It's a red hat with the same text that says "Made you look." That made me laugh because have you noticed that? I've seen people wearing hats, or people will, like, if you have a red hat on or whatever, people will automatically give you a dirty look without actually reading it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I found this really funny. My husband has a couple of red hats, and I've thought about that when we go out. And I have a red, it's actually a walk away hoodie, a hashtag walk away hoodie, and it's also red. And I feel like everything red now is like, ah! People freak out and they want to get mad. So here's the event that on Facebook for everybody if they want to go check it out. Let's see. Let's share the screen again. And so this is the event. It's at the address is 100 State Street. That's the Capital Plaza Hotel, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And so for those folks who are interested in attending, now some people, and this is not a knock, some people do have a lot of concern about COVID, especially if they have, pre-existing conditions or they're in a vulnerable group. Will they be, this is something I get all of the time. People think all of us conservatives are just mean, terrible people and that we don't care. So will there be, like, if somebody's nervous, will it be okay for them to come and wear a mask and be socially distant and all that kind of stuff? Or like, what, are there any kind of precautions or anything in place for folks who might be nervous?
The venue is already requiring and very strict on social distancing and mask requirements.
Okay.
Everyone at the event will be required to wear a mask, social distance, and also no eating allowed in the venue due to COVID.
No eating. Is that a thing? For real?
Yeah, apparently if you have food at it, it's considered a gathering and you can't have gatherings. But if there's not food, then it's okay.
Oh my good Lord. Okay, I'm going to just keep my mouth closed. So, okay, good. So anybody that's nervous or has pre-existing conditions, they can feel safe attending, that they'll be fine and they won't be mocked or ridiculed for wearing a mask or wanting to keep themselves safe. It sounds like. Mm-hmm. So that's good. So no food. Everybody know that, even though you're at the Capital Plaza. Well, they can probably go. I think they have a restaurant there, don't they? So if people come and attend the book signing and the talk, they can go eat somewhere else, or they can go eat in the hotel or something like that.
They have an excellent
Directly
restaurant
outside the door,
right there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, hold on. So, okay, so Rebecca says they have a really good restaurant. Savannah, what did you say?
Oh, they can eat directly outside of the event venue door.
Got it. I love how rules make sense. Okay. So let's see. So I just have to say, first of all, I love what Turning Point USA does. I love the work that you guys are doing. I love the work of the organization because you make it accessible to people. I think this, like, the memes that come out of TPUSA are absolutely ridiculous and so shareable. And so relatable. Would you ladies, each of you, take a moment to just share what it is? Savannah, if you want to go first, Savannah, what had you decide to get involved with Turning Point USA? If it was the memes, you have to tell people that. Or if it was just the messaging, tell people that, whatever it was. What was it that sparked you and just said, you know what, I have to participate. I have to work with this organization? On the spot. Let me put you on the spot here.
Yeah, well, a lot of reasons. I think campus reform is really important. And essentially, that's what we're doing. Even going to college in the South, which was a conservative-ish school, I dealt with like a lot of just, bullying from professors, other students, especially. I remember one professor who told me to leave the classroom because I said that I was pro-life. And unfortunately, that is something that happens all over this country. Different schools in certain areas are obviously hit harder and have more extremes than that. But our organization is really complex. We do a lot of like side things too. Like we have the professor watch list. We're working on spreading awareness about the Confucius Institutes. We're working on spreading awareness about not just socialism and taxation, but educating people on the Second Amendment, and talking. And we bring on a lot of, ways for people to kind of see it through a lens, whether you're a beginner that doesn't know a lot about politics and you're just trying to get informed. We have show like the, contributors talk about just pop culture, and then people talk about just like guns. Like there's something for, I think, everyone to kind of have some sort of interest in our organization. It's not some super right-wing takeover organization like some people in Vermont think it might be. Matter of fact, the complete opposite. Well, not right, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
we do a lot of community engagement and giving back to others.
Well, and that's, I feel like, as an example, Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk and a lot of the conservative voices that you hear talk about fighting the culture war. And I think that's really important. It's like you said, when the culture and all of the institutions in the culture are left leaning, they are left of center, right? They promote these not just liberal but leftist ideals, and then we as conservatives, I mean, I don't know about you guys, okay? So I'm a Christian. I got saved like 6 or 7 years ago, so didn't grow up that way, but I started looking for Christian movies and Christian music and different things in the culture that I could kind of absorb more of that. And oh my God, Christian movies are terrible. They're all like super cheesy and not good. So my husband is talking about, he has some ideas for making some action films, around like some of the Bible stories to make them not suck. My husband's a fight choreographer, filmmaker, stunt coordinator. And so this, that's just one aspect of being a conservative, but this, like, where else can you go? Like, all the comedians have been silenced. And if you're an actor in Hollywood, you're not allowed to say anything if you're a conservative. So fighting the culture war and having the courage to stand up, and then also being that support that gives people the courage to stand up, is so important. And I feel like that's what you do by helping create these groups and these chapters.
Exactly. It's a place for you to, what I like to call it, a safe space where you can be around other like-minded people in your community, all the communities in my territory in which I left. So it's really nice for people to come together, and although there may be some diversity in thought on a lot of issues, that's okay, because you're all interested in the same organization and the same major purpose, which is what we really need, is some form of unity, conservative movement.
Oh my goodness, isn't that the truth? Okay, so Rebekah, I haven't forgotten, I'm gonna ask you the question, but I want to make sure I don't forget this. You mentioned something about the professor watch list. What is this, Savanah? Tell us more about what this professor watch list is.
So of course, this isn't just a list where every left-wing professor would go, because that would be like probably about 98%.
Everybody. Yeah.
So what that is basically professors who are radical. These can be professors that have been seen getting involved with terrorist organizations. They can be professors that admittedly fail students based on political beliefs or thoughts. These can be professors that share absolute hatred and threats online, like on their social medias. You could just look at, I believe there's 2 last time I checked from University of Vermont, for example.
Really?
you can look and see what these professors have said. They're really awful things. And you can search any school. If you go to a very left-wing school, or even not, there's probably at least one professor on there. So it's a really great resource, because these professors really can't keep getting away with what they're doing.
So wait, I can go like this. Hold on. I might not be. Maybe I shouldn't do this, but so would I just go University? Oh, it's thinking of Vermont.
And it should just come up. Yes.
Shut up. That's crazy. Oh, my internet is being slow. Excuse me for turning my back to the camera. Let's see. Okay, why is it not working? Is it my internet? Okay, well, we're going to come back to that. It's making me look bad. You're making me look bad. Cut it out. Okay. So that is actually really interesting. So as an example, then, the friend of mine whose daughter her teacher gave her some crap, and basically gave her a failing grade on an essay that she wrote because she was wrong, right? She could report them on this website.
I believe there should be a form to fill out to report a biased instructor, and then Turning Point will, to my knowledge, reach out to you directly and ask for more information, and they'll do their own research, like looking at their social media accounts, looking online, seeing if they own a website or a blog, seeing if they have any video footage of this, things like that.
Okay, so I can't just, that's good. You can't just be like, this person's a jerk, and then they go get online with no evidence or research or anything like that behind it.
No, and again, these are very extreme cases. These aren't just somebody who says communism's fundamentally a good idea. Like, that wouldn't cut the professor watch list. No.
I mean, they maybe should, though. I'm just saying. Like, okay, maybe not. That's my bias showing. Okay, so Rebekah, why don't you tell us a little bit about what sparked you to get involved in the movement and with TPUSA and in your community in the Northeast?
Yeah, so I first heard about Turning Point through listening to the Charlie Kirk show. He founded Turning Point USA, and I absolutely loved what he stood for, and I loved his motivation and love for this country and to spread, freedom to college campuses and high school campuses. So I was like, I gotta check that out. So I joined Turning Point, and I started a chapter in Cabot, and then I ended up getting the job as high school coordinator. And I just love Turning Point because I love America, and I love our freedoms, and I love the Second Amendment, and I see all of those under attack today. And a lot of people my age don't feel the same. They want, censorship. They don't want to hear the other side. And freedom is really never more than one generation away, like Ronald Reagan says.
Yeah.
And so I think it's so important to educate my fellow high schoolers and college kids about how great America really is and how amazing a country we are, and we can't lose those freedoms that were really fought so hard for.
Yep. And that's it's so important, I think, to remember that we do have to fight for these things. Every generation has to continue to fight. I remember the time when, I'm old enough to remember, as they say, when the ACLU fought for the right for the KKK to march and to spew their opinions, which I vehemently disagree with. Obviously, I condemn the KKK completely and everything that they stand for, and I think it's gross, but they have the right to say it. And to me, the way I've always heard it is the antidote for bad speech is more speech. And I feel like when you suppress speech, when you silence people, that just radicalizes people. It emboldens them to not just say what crappy opinion that they have, but then actually to go out and demonstrate it or turn it into an action, because, well, you've shut them up and, well, nobody's going to, the natural human response, correct me if I'm wrong, is to be defiant. Like, how many human beings do you know that are told, well, you know what, you can't do that. And they go, oh, okay, I'll just not do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll speak for myself and say that normally when people say you can't do that, my first thought is, oh, watch me.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me. And so if we can allow for this open forum to express our ideas, and then more people can say, yeah, here's why that doesn't work. Here's why that's not a good idea. Even like, I joked about saying that any professor who says socialism is a good idea should go on the professor watch list. And I say that mostly in jest, because I wouldn't want to shut them down either. I want the opportunity to explain why those ideals don't work, and to offer a history lesson for folks who are unaware of, Mao and Hitler and all these other people, and say, this is why it doesn't work, because human beings always will tend towards tyranny and they will harm one another.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's one of the reasons why TPUSA is so important, to make sure that we protect that forum for free speech.
For sure.
So I love just hearing young people. I was not as smart as y'all when I was in my 20s. I was not thinking about this stuff. I was not an activist. I think it's amazing that you're taking your time and your energy to help in really add some culture and some new ideas to your communities and to our community, our home, my home. So let's see now. Okay. So we've got the thing on Facebook for the 18th, right? Frontlines with Isabel Brown. They can find it on Facebook. People said F the emergency order. It's so funny. People are so over it. As you ladies know, we've had one of the worst lockdowns in the country in the state of Vermont. And it has just really devastated people and our communities, our businesses, people's ability to take care of themselves and their livelihoods and their families. And it's just, it never ceases to amaze me when people believe that they have the right to tell other people what they are and are not allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, other than like, murdering each other and, assaulting one another. You know what I mean? It's just, It makes me crazy. Okay, I'm digressing. So we've got the event, Frontline. It's on Facebook. Here it is. People can message you here. Now there's the Turning Point USA UVM. So people can go to this. Oh, here we go.
That UVM page is actually no longer active.
Oh.
I don't have access to that page. You can as a visitor, but I am not an administrator on that page. So we'll start a new one if we get
okay. So are there any Turning Point USA chapters in Vermont that I can point people to on Facebook?
Yes. So there is a Turning Point USA at Cabot Activism Hub. They can look up. Yeah, so it's Turning Point USA Cabot Activism Hub.
Oops.
So you can reach us there.
Cabot Activism. I can spell hub. Oh, look at that. Okay, yes. So they can reach out to you here. I see there's an email for you, Miss Rebekah, right here. They can send you a message. They've got TPUSA link right there. Savanah, what is a good email for them to reach out to you?
People can email me, Savanah, SAVANNAH .COELHO at TPUSA.com.
Okay, crap. So, okay, I'm going to type it into the chat. Spell it for me again. SAVANNAH.
.coelho
COELHO
at
at,
tpusa.com.
okay. So there is your email. Oh, you know what, Rebecca, I'm going to,
And again, upstate territory and Turning Point actually covers the entire state of Vermont, western and central Massachusetts, as well as about 80% of New York State. So I don't have we don't represent Long Island, but we
okay.
represent everything all the way down to Poughkeepsie, up to Canada, and as far west as, I want to say, Syracuse.
Oh, cool. Okay, so they can reach out to y'all by email if they want to get involved, if they want to start a chapter, if they want to join your chapters that are already started. They can go to Facebook to Isabel Brown to say that they're going to go to the event and get a book signed, hear her speak. And really, this I'm talking to you, Vermonters. Okay, hold on, hold on 1 second. I'm going to do this. I'm going to sass people here. Give me 1 second. Real talk, y'all. If we want the support of organizations like Turning Point USA, we have to show up to these things. There are so many of us that feel disenfranchised and disheartened and powerless to make a change in our community. And Turning Point USA is one of the organizations that has not given up on us yet. They want to make a difference in Vermont. They want to help us make a change. And yes, we all have our own pet projects, right? You've got people that, are 2A or pro-life or, fill in the blank. But Turning Point USA is an organization that can support all of those things, that it could be an umbrella organization for all of our pet projects, all of the things that we care about, all of the things that matter, and they can help give us the support and guidance that we need to start taking back our state, to start taking it back from this ideology that says the only thing about you that matters is your skin color. The only thing about you that matters is your genitalia. The only thing that matters about you is who you want to have sex with. That is not Vermont. That is not Vermonters. That is not an ideology that can be a foundation for unity. But what can be a foundation for unity is an opportunity or an organization like TPUSA who says everyone is welcome here. We don't care what color you are. We don't care if you're gay, straight, man, woman, whatever. We just want people to come and be free. And so that's me sassing everybody for a moment there. Thank you for giving me that. Oh, dang it. We lost Savannah. She was having some issues with her phone, so maybe she'll be back with us. If she is, I'll add her back to the stream. But so that was me giving everybody a lecture. Rebekah, is there anything else you want to share with our listeners to let them know, to encourage them, tell them where to go, or anything like that?
Yeah, so if you're unsure about getting involved with Turning Point at first, feel free to come to our event next week, next Thursday. It'll be super fun. There's going to be Q&A after she talks, photos, book signing. So if you're unsure about it now, join. If you know any high schoolers, any college kids, anybody who's conservative and wants to get involved, feel free to send them either I or Savannah's information. We'll get back to them. I think that's pretty much it.
All right, good. Yeah. Let me think. Was there one more thing? Jean says, I'm in. What can I do? Call Jean. If you're still watching, email these ladies. They'll tell you what to do. Oh, this was my question. Can people watch the event? I saw on Turning Point USA on their website, there's the thing that says live feed. Will the event be live streamed by chance?
I am not sure. We could do that. That is definitely a possibility. We're not 100% sure now, but
think about it. See if you can do that, because I'm really disappointed. I'm in Texas at the moment. We're going on vacation right when this event is happening, so we couldn't get back to Vermont in time to join, and I'm really bummed about it. So if you can make it a live feed somehow, I would get to watch, and then I would be happy.
We will try.
Yeah. Okay, so Jean said, okay, Jean said I am. I said email them. She said I am. Okay, let me just
Yay.
make sure I didn't miss anybody. People being silly. Buy followers. Like, why? Why would you? I've never understood that, real talk, because people don't care as much about your followers. Like if you're trying to sell your channel or whatever, they want to see engagement. So you can spend all this money and get a bajillion followers. And if none of them watch your stuff or care, it's pointless.
Right.
Anyway,
What's the point?
seriously.
Exactly.
Okay, that's lecture number 2 for the day, apparently. Please do that. I'm going to Florida for 2 weeks. Oh, man. Yeah, okay, so if you can live stream it, it'd be awesome.
Okay.
I got to figure out
Okay.
anybody that's going to go to the event, let me know. I might have you I'm going to have you get a book for me and sign it. So anybody that's going, holler at your girl. I'm going to have you get me an event. And then Miss Samantha is awesome, and she's 25. Is there like an actual age range that you guys have, or is there like a cap, like to be a member or whatever?
I think
that's
like
even the right word.
26, 27. I mean, honestly, I think she could like be part of our activism hub if she wanted to, or even start one. You can also, if you go to Turning Point's website, I believe they have a Turning Point USA alumni. So that might be something for people who are older. I mean, you can support, you can donate to Turning Point USA. You can help us out at the event if you want. Yeah, go ahead and she can email either I or Savanah, and Savanah might know a little more about that, but she can definitely reach out to us.
Okay, yep. See, Turning Point USA alumni for us old people.
Yes.
Why do I have to be old? It's so unfair. I want to be cool and join TPUSA. Oh my God. Okay. So that is the screen. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. For folks that have been watching for a little while, I'm just every week or so, I learn a new piece of the software and I start doing new stuff. So I've been trying to figure out how to take the screen in and out without having to say stop share and stuff. And I just found the button. Yes. Okay. Rebekah, thank you so much. I'll make sure to tell Savanah I said thank you.
I will.
Thank you both for everything that you do. Thank you for what you do in Vermont. Thank you for what you're doing for the country. And I really am just going to be wishing and praying for a really successful event next Thursday.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
All right. Hold on with me 1 second while I end the stream here. Do.